Welcome to another episode of What I Learned from Bobby Hemmit. This episode is about decoding the universe. And these episodes are just my own ramblings because I just want to get the information out. And I don't have the time to make a fancy video or care about writing a script. I just want to try to get out what I have learned and what has been revealed to me from my own spirit and from my own interest. So, I've already talked about the foundational things that make up magic. So, now I'm going to tell you something that connects what I said to a celebrity that is bearing witness to what I'm saying. Okay, there's an interview. There's a show called Tavis Smiley. The Tavis Smiley Show. Maybe it's not on anymore, but you can look it up on YouTube. There's an episode where he interviews Will Smith. And for whatever reason, Will Smith is just talking, and he says that, in my world, 1 + 1 = 3. In my world, if you want to say 1 + 1 = 2, that's you. But in my world, 1 + 1 = 3. He says something to that effect. Now, what is he talking about? He's talking about occult knowledge, which is completely hidden to the masses because their brain is just locked down. They just have a certain thing they've been taught at college or whatever, and they're locked into their job, and they can't even learn anything new hardly. If you're conscious, you can learn something new. So, getting back to what Will Smith was saying. He was talking about how creation works in the universe. And what he's saying is that when any two forces come together, they create something new. Now, this is a very simple concept to understand. So that's why he's saying, he's playing around and saying 1 + 1 can never equal 2. Because anytime you bring any two things together, they're going to create something. You bring two people together, even just their talking will create, their energy will create something, even if they're just talking. Maybe it creates drama. Maybe they will argue. Maybe they are two business people and they're going to create a plan for something. And yes, of course, physically, the outcome can be the creation of a child. And unfortunately, people are doing that unconsciously and mindlessly, and they're just regenerating another ignorant person. And they usually have kids without thinking about a plan for them or the meaning of their life or any kind of guidance whatsoever. It's just one dummy meeting another dummy and producing a third dummy. The child is never learning anything about the world most of the time. Or they can only, most of the time, they're not teaching them anything at all. So, I think that's all I want to say. I wanted to tell you about the story. You can look up the video, and I will look up the video and put the link so you can see what I'm talking about with the Will Smith story, the interview. And again, I'm just going to repeat that the universe runs by magic, and magic is just using energies to create something new. And magic is the person that can use the unseen to manifest something in the physical. And you're doing it all the time with your emotions, but that's a whole nother topic. But what I'm saying is that you black people they're only copying your knowledge, and they're able to use it because everything's just energy. So it's not a matter of good or bad, it's how you use it. You can use it to build or destroy or control, and they are using it to destroy people and control people. And you better believe that this world is under a spell, and they know the magic to hold people's minds, and half of that is the TV. But they have other things going on behind the scenes that they're using actual magic. So I will end this little episode now. And my point is I gave you an example of the power of the numbers and what it means. And I will think of how to explain some other things about the shapes, because the shapes have a meaning also. I need to make a correction or an adjustment to the explanation about Will Smith. Will Smith, I looked at the footage, the Tavis Smiley footage, and when I made this, I was remembering that segment. But then when I was trying to look it up again to get a photo, maybe use a photo, Will Smith said 2 + 2 is 4. Now, the premise of what I said is correct. Will Smith is, he is saying that example incorrectly on purpose. Okay? He's purposely playing as if he is a clown. And of course, Tavis Smiley is playing right along with him, looking at him in bewilderment and, thinking he doesn't know how to count. But the point of what Will is saying is the same thing that I am saying, that you can use your mental power to affect the universe. That is what Will is saying. I explained something about the numbers, so that is metaphysically true. And I want to point out something else, is that pay attention to what Will says. After he emphatically says, basically he's saying, I can do my will in the universe, okay? He then negates everything. He negates himself and negates everything so that you don't take him seriously. So he says, oh, but that's just a whole bunch of esoteric and alchemy. He has said something to that effect. And he uses the word esoteric and he uses the word alchemy. But he uses it to dismiss everything that he said. And he said, oh, that's just a bunch of nonsense. Well, I'm here to tell you, and I'm here to bear witness, and I'm here to support and reinforce what Bobby Hemmit tells you, is that esoteric knowledge is what was learned, is the true knowledge. And it is pre-religion. It's when ancient people understood the universe, they understood how it operated, and they had the power to influence the universe and their will upon the universe. Then the powers that be basically committed genocide on all those people, and then they established Christianity. And I could say a lot more about that, but I am going to stop myself right now. Thank you for listening. This message is for those that are on the Bobby Hemmit frequency. All honor, appreciation, thanks, gratitude I give to Bobby Hemmit, because I am using his name to share information that I learned from him, combined with my own revelations. So, thank you, and I wish for you an increase in consciousness and power.